What is up, winning team? Hello, everybody. Let's talk about this whole D-filler. Let's talk about this whole BBL smelling bad situation, because I really want to speak to us as men and women, because it's really going too far, isn't it? It's really going too far. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, right now there's a lot of talk going on because guys apparently are getting these dermal fillers, these fillers in their you-know-what, which for me is insanity, which we'll come back to why I think it's insanity in a minute, and not just from a medical basis, like also why would you even bother? But I get why you would bother, but I'm going to explain why I think that the reasons why you would bother are outweighed by the reasons why you shouldn't bother. We'll come to that in a minute. But people are also talking about this BBL business that apparently BBLs smell. Now, obviously, we're going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about the hygiene element because that one's a little bit obvious. Like, if you're not washing yourself, if you're not sorting yourself out, that's something you need to figure out, lady. Like, we're all women now. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got the internet. If you're struggling, figure it out. So we're not going to talk about the hygiene element. But apparently, there is actual scientific backing that taking the fat from one place and putting it somewhere else as the fat is dying or as you have to do the drainages or whatever, that creates an odor that is not exactly pleasant. And apparently, even Lamar Odom and Kanye West at some point were discussing between each other this issue. So can I just say, I actually find living on planet Earth so fascinating because this place is the gift that keeps on giving, isn't it? Isn't this place just the gift that keeps on giving? And I'm going to start with, where should we start? Do you want to start with the ladies or do you want to start with the guys? Well, I'm going to start with this, right? Let's start here. Let's start with both. Let's start by saying, I believe we have gone so far away from wherever we once were, where we actually valued ourselves and allowed ourselves to be valued by people who value you. I.e., as a man, right? I don't think you shouldn't be expected to be adjusting your body. This is where you guys are going to realize that how much of a hippie I am when it comes to sex. Because I'm very much a hippie when it comes to sex, because I believe that the Lord created our bodies beautifully as they were. And I believe that whoever you're supposed to be having sex with, it will be good, and it's not about counting how many inches. It's not about how much girth he has. It's not about, oh, I need to get a BBL. I need to get lip filler. Listen, if your guys are feeling each other and you're destined to have that chemistry, it's going to be there or it's not. That's how I look at it. So I just think that all of these things are actually a huge waste of time, but we're going to get into the depths of obviously why I believe some of these things are happening. Now, if you're female, let's start there. You're actually not very smart, because if you've paid any attention to what a lot of guys say, which I know that we don't as women, because sometimes I know that as women, what we do is we focus more on our day-to-day experiences with men and what we think about them, as opposed to what men actually say. Because yes, if you as a woman have got a BBL or got a certain kind of body and you have all this access to guys and you're having sex with all these men, and because you can have sex with all these men, or you are having it and you don't understand how men think, or you have some kind of other underlying issues, which, to be honest, everybody has underlying issues if you ask me realistically. It's just the degree to which you're aware and the degree to which you're working on them and the degree to which you have worked on them, if that makes sense. Then you might see you might be satisfied at the minute because the way that you look and whatever is attracting men, and they're having sex with you, which as women is easy for us to tick off our little checks box. Like, oh my gosh, I must be like, so the men love me. Like, of course, whoever I want, I can easily marry, and whoever I want, I can easily have. Yeah, listen, I don't know if you've looked in the sex toy industry. They will have sex with a blow-up doll, my friend. You're not that special. You're essentially an alive blow-up doll. Let's be honest. Let's just get to the point. Let's just, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying this to help save some women, because I feel like sometimes us ladies, we do things in order to gain male attention, and we're not getting the attention that we think we're getting, because guys have clearly said out loud. I even heard some guys saying on some discussing these issues that, like, these girls with these BBLs, they wouldn't marry anyway. Like, they'll have sex with you, but they won't marry you. And that's the problem with us ladies, because we're like, oh my God, she's having sex with me. He's so into me. Like, oh my God. And then now I'm going to get pregnant on purpose so I can trap him and keep him forever. No, darling, that's not what's going to happen. And also, he's not like us as a woman who is going to generally generally find it more difficult to completely abandon our child because we're built differently. I don't believe that men care less, by the way. I'm just saying that. I'm just thinking about the way that we've been built, because I believe men have to are better at compartmentalizing because they're built to be providers. Somebody has to be able to have the restraint to somewhat detach themselves in order to focus on providing, or somebody else has to have the restraint to somewhat compartmentalize the need for, or the obsession, which is what it seems like to me a lot of the time with men, are like, guys do not do well when they don't have money and they don't have their life together, but in certain areas. But anyway, we're just different in the way the Lord intended, but so I'm just trying to say that, yeah, we do some things as women that we're not really thinking very well, because we don't know that just from our experience. Like, I know that just because a guy's interested in me, just even if a man says to me like, oh, I would marry you, whatever, like, you could say, well, you're saying anything. Men will say a lot of things and they're horny, especially. Let's just get to the point. So let's just talk about that for starters. So why are we then as women adjusting our whole bodies, our whole structures for what? You know what I'm saying? Because like the way I look at it is like, if somebody's attracted to me or I'm with somebody, even if everything goes wrong, but at least I did my best to just be myself, cool. I can take that. But you mean I'm going to risk my life going back? And apparently BBLs have to be done every 3 to 5 years, which is insanity, if you ask me. If I have to go back, if I have done all of that just to gain some male attention and then things happen, what on earth was worth it? And again, do you not want somebody that loves and values you, or at least values you for who you are and respects you the way you are? Because for me personally as a woman, I don't think it's possible for me to actually believe that somebody genuinely appreciates me if I'm not in the original factory settings of the Lord, or pretty close to the original factory settings of the Lord, as far as things like my body and stuff. And I'm not talking about, obviously, we all do things to enhance our appearance, right? But I'm saying that, going under the knife, going under surgery is a massive freaking deal. And then now what? That these things just smell. And then I've seen some guys say some crazy stuff like about this as well. Because some guys are like, but it's not even that bad. But it's this and it's that. And I'm just like, listen, we know you guys are dirty dogs anyway. Like, why are we even asking them about their opinion? Because of course there's going to be guys who are cool with it. Like, this is what we know. This is what we know about the male community, right? But when it comes to this whole, getting your penis filled with God knows what, first of all, why on earth would you do that? Like, because the gentleman of the world and the gentleman on the winning team, if any of you feel comfortable, please tell me how that could actually be worth going through with. Like, an actual injection of, what do you call them? Foreign entities for a word. Because if it's to impress a woman, she's not worth it. She's never worth it. She should love you and all of you in the way that the Lord created you. She should appreciate you in the way that you are in the Lord, the way the Lord created you. And I feel like sex has just become such like a, how can I put it? It's become so much like just something that what's the word? I can't think of it. Like, it's just it's like a service. It's not like what it was created to be, something sacred, something gorgeous and beautiful, and, something you can't really explain, but when it works with who it works with, it works. That's why I even think that when people are like, what is the size of a guy that you like, or what is a good size for a guy? It's like, who knows? The Lord knows, because the Lord is the one who created whatever penis is mine. So let's ask him and let's leave him to do what he did with his own artwork. Why change for somebody else? And that's something I really truly don't understand about the male community a lot of the time. I'm not going to lie to you, is why guys do so much sometimes to pander to women. Because I feel like with certain things, if a woman is being in a certain way, she doesn't deserve to have you in any way, shape and form. I was saying this to a guy the other day because we're talking about dating, and I was saying, and he was saying to me that for a lot of guys, I was telling him that I think a lot of men are quite stupid when it comes to dating, because they'll be with a woman and then it will take them like forever to realize that they're with a witch. He'll be like, yeah, it's hard to see the red flags. I'm like, yeah, but if you're telling me that the first time you guys went out on a date, or the first time you guys did this, or did whatever you did, she was already being super demanding, or she was already being this. You saw it from the beginning. Why were you even adjusting your behavior for this woman in the first place? You should have seen then and there, if this is how she's treating you now, and you let her get away with it, do you think it's going to get better? So it's going to get worse, because now she's like, oh, perfect, I found the mug that I need to drain for the rest of my life in all ways and areas that I want to. And so I also feel like whenever you adjust yourself, like, and you don't stand on who you are, right, especially for men, I feel like for men it's even on a different level. It's on a different level because you're supposed to be a man. Do you know what I'm saying? So you stand on who you are. Yeah, you be proud of whatever you have brought to the table. Obviously, we all have to do the maintenance, i.e., you know, things like keeping yourself in a reasonable shape, and like, and I say reasonable because it all just matters. It's all personal. That's what I'm saying as well. Because like, even when it comes to dating, people are like, oh yeah, well, guys all like this or women all like that. No, we're all different, actually. We're all different. And so you, again, you in the way that the Lord created you, like, I really think people need to start focusing more on the way, finding out who God created you to be, and less what the social media is telling you is what is wanted. Because like, guys be like, oh, women want gym bros and this and that. And I was even talking to my friend, she's married, and we're both discussing about how the types of men that we like, and it's not even like what a lot of guys think that we would like, or what a lot of guys would do to be like, oh, this is what you're going to want. It's like, no, you don't actually know. But somebody might like that, and somebody else might like something else, and it goes vice versa. Like, I learned this having brothers, because I love asking my brothers actually what the women they find attractive and in what ways they think these women are attractive and whatever. Because I, a lot of the time, would have a different opinion to them in terms of women. Obviously, I'm not lesbian or anything, so that's not really going to be as valuable. But my point being that it's clear that what we all want from each other is different, and it's better for you to stand and be proud of who you are and who the Lord created for you to be, rather than adjusting for something else. Because again, if you adjust yourself, you're gonna imagine this. This is how I look at it now. Right. And I look at this not just in the physical sense, but even in the personality, who you are, how you conduct yourself sense. Whatever you put out into the universe, you're going to attract whoever is attracted to that. Right. And so you have to put out the energy. If you put out your true self, somebody that appreciates your true self is who's going to be attracted to you. Obviously, the overarching problem with everything that I'm saying right now is this. We're in a society where everybody's just being promiscuous and just having sex with everyone. So there's no sense of a lot. And even in relationships, people aren't even necessarily getting in relationships to stay in them, because they're just like, oh, we're just going to do whatever we're going to do. We're going to be with whoever we're going to be with, and we're just going to do whatever we're doing and whatever we're doing. Right? Which honestly, I have no interest in. And for these exact reasons, because like, listen, everybody has the right to do what they want to do. But for me, that's a lot of effort. And even when it comes to things like sex, it's really not going to be good anyway with lots of different people. Men and women have acknowledged that. So at the end of the day, you're doing all of this. You're putting yourself at risk to now probably attract somebody who would never have been attracted to you in your natural state. And that's whether you're having a one-night stand, and that's whether you're interested in a long-term relationship. You put yourself at risk. And honestly, you should be ashamed of yourself. Like, I'm sorry to say it like that, but you really should be. Because who freaking cares? It's life, and this is what we're living in. And there's so many people who just stay where they're at. It's like the same thing I say when a lot of guys are like, oh, women don't like short guys, women don't like this. And I've said before that a lot of the times, the reason why a lot of short guys, it is true that in general, women do generally prefer taller guys, or guys that are taller than them, which is what we need to actually specify. But a lot of the problem with shorter guys isn't that they're shorter, it's that they have this short man syndrome. So a guy who is taller, who isn't like feeling so insecure about himself, is going to be more attractive than a guy who is feeling so insecure already about himself and assuming, oh my gosh, I'm defeated because I'm short, so you're not gonna like me. It's like, you don't look like you're gonna be my partner in crime during the zombie apocalypse. You don't sound like a man I can depend on, feeling sorry for yourself. I'm just being honest. I'm just being really honest. And even as for us as ladies, like, if you're that obsessed with attention, do you think that's attractive? That is horror. Like, and it's true, because somebody said, a guy said this, and I was thinking, you know what? I never thought about it like this, but it's so true. And I've heard a few guys say it now, like how if you do certain things as a woman, like especially with your body and stuff, it makes you seem really attention seeking, and attention seekingness is unattractive. As a woman, I've come to understand that from the things I've heard from the male community, that they find us being attention seeking as a whole unattractive, And I can get why, because you don't want everybody, who wants somebody who's desperate for everybody to acknowledge them? And also, why is you being acknowledged by one person who actually respects and loves you and is investing in you not enough? But I don't know, guys. I'm just throwing some ideas out there, because when I heard that this thing was happening, then I've heard about them both on the same day. And I thought, what in the world are we doing? Like, the funny thing is, I expected this from us as ladies. The BBLs and stuff just doesn't surprise me. It was really the guys getting fillers that finished me with this. It finished me, because I was like, I've always hoped, I don't know, maybe it's because of who I am, but I hope a lot of the times that, it's probably because of my relationship with the Lord, and the Lord, obviously, God is, he's the greatest man of all time. So my hope was that, like, guys wouldn't fall as far as we are falling as women. But then apparently you are, and for what? To what? Prove yourself to some girl that you gained an extra inch, it's not going to help you. I promise you. I'll tell you now. I'll tell you as a woman. Listen, it's not going to help you get anywhere forward. Because even if you find a woman that's like, well, I would only date a guy who's got this many inches or over, or whatever reason you did it, there's always going to be something else she's going to want from you. Because the fact that she doesn't already appreciate you from as you are, and whether that's wants from you, even just in a sexual sense, because now that you're proven you're willing to go to these lengths, no pun intended, now that you've proven you're willing to go to these lengths, what do you think the result of that's going to be? She's going to keep taking and taking and taking and taking. And that's where we go wrong as men and women. Because sometimes women find themselves in those scenarios where they'll be like, I can't believe that he expects me to always like stay in shape and whatever. It's like, but you put yourself like that, baby girl. And your makeup was like, however. So if he says that you look ugly without makeup and he expects you to wear makeup 24/7, because that's the woman you presented yourself to be as, well, what can you really say? Because that's what you presented. Like, and that's what I'm trying to say. Like, we need to just do away with all of this nonsense and go back to the way that it was intended. You know what I mean? So you guys can tell I've been like high with the Lord, as in like high on the Lord, like with the Lord, with all this stuff. Because I'm just like, us as men and women, we just need to come back together and just, do what the Lord intended and create the artwork. Because I really feel like when it comes to sex and all this like relationships and stuff, you're supposed to be creating a beautiful art piece together from the two beautiful art pieces that the Lord already created. And created well, right? But instead, you want to adjust yourself and then go and do one paintbrush stroke with one person and another one. And I'm like, look, fair enough. There's some instances where I'm talking specifically, just about just being around with everybody and just whatever. Like at a certain point, do you not want more for yourself? Because that's how I feel. Like I just decided in my life, I was like, look, I don't want to have cheap, boring sex. I don't want to be out here like trying to get people interested in me because of whatever, because I bought a BBL, because I put my life on the line, because I was prepared to die. I was prepared to die for what? To die. Are you kidding me? And you don't even put it. So I'm prepared to die with somebody that's not even trying to marry me in the first place. How is that making any sense? Someone tell me, because none of you will, because it doesn't. Well, I'm joking. If you guys do actually have an opinion, please do share it. Like I said, I'm just trying to, please do share your opinion if you guys disagree, but I'm just trying to say, I think everybody should be confident in who you are and be confident that God created, and this is why I know that it's godlessness that brings us into this, because you should be confident in who God created for you to be. Like you should, as you are, and believe that he would want you to have somebody who appreciates you the way that you are and not somebody that just likes you because you did X, Y, and Z. And it doesn't all have to be perfect. Like that's what I'm saying. Like on social media makes us seem so, so everything seems so specific. Like, oh, all the women want this, all the guys want that, or all the gifts. But it's like, is that really the case? Because even from my own conversations with guys, I always ask guys, like, so what is your type of woman? Like, what type of things do you like in a woman? They all have different things that they like, they care about. Some guys really care about a smile. Some guys like a big butt. Some guys like small butt. Some guys like big boobs. Some guys like women who are part of the itty bitty titty committee. Some guys like, they all like different things. They all have their different little things that they like. Some guys, they care more about things like the way that you smell and the way that you this. So, who are we trying to change ourselves for? It's the same argument. And that's why it made me laugh when I saw that apparently Lamar Odom and Kanye West had been talking about how the Kardashians apparently smell because of their BBLs. Because I thought, so who is everybody changing for? You know what I'm saying? If even these guys are putting up with all of that, Kanye and Lamar, for them to be the like poster children for us ladies to be doing all these types of surgeries. So basically what we're saying is if they hadn't done that, then it would have been a better experience for the guys anyways, and we wouldn't be doing it as well, which would be a better experience for the guys anyways, which would be a better experience for us as women because we'd be risking our lives. And it would also mean that we would be able to be appreciating our natural bodies the way that they are. Oh my gosh, that sounds like such a horrible idea. Of course it doesn't, because that's the way the Lord intended things. And I honestly think all this talk and stuff about people trying to be like, really think we'll get at the point, like as men and women, we're just like really overthinking this stuff. And it's just like so simple. It's quite simple. Be the best version of yourself. And you will attract somebody who's attracted to the best version of you, which is you. Not the best version of somebody else. You don't need add-ons. Do you know what I'm saying? The best version of you, that is somebody who deserves to have you in any way, shape, and form. Whether that be sexually, or whether that be in a relationship, somebody who appreciates you as you are as a person is who deserves to have you. Duh. And imagine you changing your body because now you've done all of these D fillers, and now you go and sleep with a woman that's actually the woman that the Lord had for you, and she's like, oh no, I don't think we have the chemistry, this isn't right for me. The Lord's like, listen, I had built her for where you actually were. I know it's crazy that I think like this, guys, but I really do, because I honestly do think that this is, I genuinely believe that everything is as simple as it is that the Lord intended, and we're just overcomplicating things with all of this, and we're always like changing things for the wrong people. Like I was saying to you with this dude that I was speaking to the other day, we're talking about women or whatever. He's like, yeah, well, when I go on dates, I do this and I do that because, you know, women are like this, women like, I'm like, just decide what you think is reasonable for what you want in a woman, and state your boundaries and keep them. Whoever's right for you is going to respect them, because they're going to respect your boundaries and respect you as a person. So don't keep pandering and flip-flopping and going where the wind blows and then wonder why you don't get respect, and then be like, women don't want to respect you. Yeah, a lot of them might not, but chances are anybody that does. And I feel like it's vice versa. It's the same with us as women. Some guys are going to love the BBL. Like I said, I saw guys talking about if it ain't good, if it don't stink. I was just like, nah, no way. This is no way. But listen, those guys are going to find those girls and they're going to be fine together. But if the chances are, if you're not interested in getting a BBL, chances are you're not interested in a guy who wants that anyway. And chances are you're going to be the kind of girl that the right guy who you would actually like is going to want in the first place. So I don't know. Call me. Maybe it's just that I'm a mathematician. Maybe I'm oversimplifying. But to me, the math adds up pretty easily. Anyways, guys, I'm going to leave it there. If life's a game, let's play to win. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Is this not crazy? Like, have we not lost it? Have we not completely lost it as the human race? And I want to hear your opinions. If you're a guy, about what the guys are doing and whether you would or you wouldn't, what you think about what us ladies are doing as ladies, what you're doing, or what you would or wouldn't do, and what you think about what the guys are doing. I would love to hear everybody's thoughts, because I was so shocked. I couldn't possibly believe it when I heard this, what guys were doing. I was just like, there's no way we're here now. So I'm like, I must be missing something. So I'm totally open to the idea that I'm missing something. But then I'm just like, anyway, we'll leave it there for now, shall we? Maybe we'll have to circle back if some of you guys respond to this. Anyways, God bless you all. If life's a game, let's play to win. And I'll see you in my next one. Goodbye.